It's graduation season, and we continue now with our special series about Rethinking College. This year, we focused on innovative programs helping lower-income students climb the ladder of college and economic stability. Tonight, Sreenivasan reports from New Orleans about one university that offers a cure for a lack of diversity in medicine. It's part of our weekly education segment, Making the Grade.
Can any of y'all come up to the board and describe the glycolysis cycle, write it out?
On the campus of Xavier University, 18-year-old Chris Webb leads a biology review the night before a major test.
All you really need to know.
Webb is helping fellow freshmen who, like him, are enrolled in a rigorous pre-medical program.
I want them to do as best as they can.
The scene is a familiar one on the campus of Xavier, a historically black college in the heart of New Orleans.
So what's the second stage in aerobic respiration?
The second stage is formation of acetyl coenzyme A.
Students quiz each other on material from tough science classes, the kind of courses that often weed out pre-medical students.
I don't want them to do better than me, but when they do, that just makes me realize, okay, this competition is really serious. While we're having fun with it, it's also very real.
There are just over 3,000 students at Xavier University, but the school manages to graduate more African Americans who go on to become doctors than any other school. That includes elite public universities and the Ivy Leagues.
That number is even more striking given a drop in black males applying to medical schools. According to a recent report from the Association of American Medical Colleges, fewer black males are applying to medical schools now than in 1978. Raynal Verrett is Xavier's president.
We do not compete to say who is better. It's almost like a relay race. The goal is to finish together. So our students actually embrace and encourage each other to achieve.
That turns on its head traditional pre-med program.
Oh yes,
which
it does.
Is
it does.
Look to the left, look to the right.
One of you's gone.
Right?
Yes. We want to get through because the competition is actually after we leave Xavier, not here. The point is to get out there together.
Call it competitive collaboration. Head of student advising, Kyovatis Webster.
At some schools, you say, look to your left, look to your right, this person may not be here. Here, we say, look to your left, look to your right, you better help the person next to you so that we can all make it.
The intense student advising starts early.
How are you, my dear?
I'm great, how are you?
Good. Everything is filled out?
Incoming freshmen begin crafting medical school applications even before their first day as an undergraduate.
Before classes start, we go over a different aspect of the process of preparing a competitive application to medical school.
And you're starting before they actually walk in the door.
Have to. You need 6 semesters at least, because that's 6 semesters before you apply. You need every last one of those semesters and summers to put into making yourself a competitive applicant.
One of the phosphates is broken off.
The pre-med program also relies heavily on tutoring by upperclassmen. Bradley Dunn says he could not have made it through his first semester without the free tutoring center. Dunn's student tutor, Shanier Jones.
Basically, whenever he had a break, he was in the tutoring center. I was like, geez.
Dunn believes students helping students comes in part from shared experiences about race.
They're able to understand the plight of African Americans. It's more relatable and it's more intimate. And we all know the pitfalls that we may face as people. And together, we're a unit. And I'm actually taking pride in that blackness.
The second part of that question, that's the one I didn't necessarily understand.
Race is also an important factor for Chris Webb, who chose Xavier over full scholarships to other universities, including Vanderbilt and Tulane.
Seeing people that look like me and getting to med school and through med school, it motivates me more competing with people that are like me.
One of those role models is Dr. Ryan Jupiter.
All right, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a listen to you right now. And then see
Jupiter is a resident doctor in the emergency department of New Orleans University Medical Center. A Xavier alumni, he visits campus regularly to tell students his own story as the first in his family to go to college.
I wanted to make sure that I could look like I do and still be able to, become what I want to be.
How important is that? I mean, do you think that young black men don't see that enough?
Definitely. I don't think they do at all. It's a long journey, and when you see other people who put in the time and the work and see the results of it, then it kind of helps with the long struggle that it takes.
When we met Dr. Jupiter, he had his monogram jacket on, which he took off for our interview. but he explained how he normally wears the jacket in the hospital because it is one more visual cue to patients that he is a physician, something he says people don't always expect from a young black male.
Have you been mistaken for something other than a doctor?
All the time. It happens. I don't think it's intentional. I would like to think it's not intentional, but it's very rare that you can walk into a room as a patient and when you see a black, African-American male with dreads in his hair and, that this is my doctor until you formally introduce yourself, or you would get the comments, nurse, or, can you get this for me, or are you here to clean the room, so to speak. Those things have all happened.
Students at Xavier hope to change those stereotypes.
We all recognize that people don't truly see us for who we are. And we use that to motivate ourselves and to try and show people, we're a lot more than what you take us for.
As African Americans, we're known to be great in sports, but we can be so much greater in other areas, and I just feel like we need to be more represented.
There is a bright spot for minority trends in the field. The number of black women applying to medical school is on the rise.
Black women have something to prove.
Xavier sophomore Rachel Hitchens has already been accepted into the University of Rochester Medical School.
We've been objectified for so many years. We have to prove that we can be more than video dancers. We can actually use our brain, and I think that's the motivating force that's deep down within so many black women like myself.
And like Hitchens, the students we spoke to at this small New Orleans college had big plans.
I want to be an orthopedic surgeon.
I want to be a pediatric cardiologist.
I want to be a rural family practice physician.
That's why.
Paving the way for another generation of African American doctors. In New Orleans, for the PBS NewsHour, I'm Sreenivasan.